welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and in this episode I want to talk about 3 different games again, and this time around this will be Vortex, Car vs Cops and farm game Island Escape. My name is Gerald, and as always I have a small little setup here, and the setup contains of, for example, the Yard mouse. This is just a Bluetooth enabled mouse that can be used in 2 different states. One state is the transport state, I call it. It's more or less this very thin one where you can really easily put it into your pocket, for example, and do stuff with it. It's really a nice thing to do. And the other state is this one. And in this state we can really nicely use this because it has a very economic form, and like that I can really easily take this and use it in a quite reasonable way. And yeah, more or less of the same kind of fashion, there is this foldable keyboard, and this keyboard can be used in 2 different ways too, because this is the open use, of course. Now the keyboard is on. You can see that if I click on one of the keys here, you can, for example, see there's this little light coming up, and it's showing that this keyboard is on at the moment. And if I'm trying to use this, for example, I can use it with a 10-finger typing system or something like that. And if I want to use it or to transport it around, then it's a better way to put it into this state, because in this mode the cool thing about it is that it really is very safe. There are no keys or something that can be destroyed, because it's really protected from both sides here, and protecting itself somehow. It's quite genius, if you ask me. And it's still quite thin, so you can easily put it into your pocket, for example, and walk around with it or whatever. And it's really a nice thing to have around. And the cool thing is that you really just have to open it. Now it's on again, and you can just use it as you are used to with any kind of keyboard. Especially if you are used to a laptop keyboard system or something like that, it's really a nice thing to have. Yeah. And of course there is the Xbox One as a wireless controller. This time around we are not going to use this one, because there is no game in our current setup that supports it, so none of the 3 will take advantage of that. But there are a few I showed you in the last episodes and stuff like that, so if you want to play with the Xbox One wireless controller in this case, please have a look in one of the previous episodes. There will be one that you might want to play there. Yeah, and of course the major thing, or the core of the whole thing here, is the Lumia 950 XL. It's a Continuum enabled smartphone, you can see here, and it has a USB-C connector at the bottom here, and like that I can, for example, use a USB-C cable in this case and connect that one with my display dock, which is shown at this point. And this display dock, I hope you can see it, I think you can see it, yes. And this display dock is just more or less a USB dongle, more or less, because it offers the possibility to do the USB-C style here and connect to that one, for example, an HDMI cable, which is connected to my TV at this moment, and like that I can project, for example, this desktop kind of way, and from my smartphone, and just use this kind of way to show you the things here and play games and stuff like that. And in this episode, and more or less all the episodes, because this channel is all about gaming with Continuum, this will be used to play games with it. And yeah, of course there are different connection possibilities here, so if you, for example, want to connect a USB mouse or a USB controller or something like that, you can do that. If you have, for example, this display dock adapter, or you have, for example, a USB-C adapter to a USB-A or something like that, you can use it in this case. And of course there is a display port additional to the HDMI port too, so whichever you want to use, because your display, for example, is using a display port or whatever, you can use that too, doesn't really matter. Yeah, and if you want to know more about that, have a look at the info box I'm providing over there. It's more or less showing you what is going on there, and will go a little bit in deep with what about setting up this stuff and like that. You will have a quite good notion what's going on here. Yeah, and I think I talked enough now, and one thing I have to mention. Yeah, as you may or may not have noticed, I'm talking English today, and this is something I want to keep up for a while now. I thought about doing all the episodes in English, maybe that way, or maybe it's yeah, I don't know. Each odd one is English and each even one will be German or something like that. We will see. It depends a lot of what I want to do at the moment when I'm doing these episodes, but I just figured and thought, why not doing a lot more in English now, because there are just many viewers which are English speaking or at least not German speaking, and like that I think you can understand me a lot better, at least till, for example, YouTube is doing an update to that automatic this automatic dubbing or something like that, because it's really a really bad algorithm that they are using there, and because of that I thought, just let's do it in English again. Yeah, and then I would say let's have a look at the first game. The first game is the Vortex, and this is quite a fast-paced game, because you really have to have quite good reflexes to play that game. You will see what I'm talking about if I'm doing it right, at least. There we are, in a second more or less. Because what you have to do here is you have more or less a ball, and the ball is what your player is looking like, and you have to navigate with this ball through different hoops or loops more or less, and to get through that you really have to use one of the gaps that is going to be in the loops there. And if you're not, for example, aiming right or targeting the right gap there, you will have a big problem and you will die for it. And it's really a fast-paced, really small game more or less, but I like it somehow because it's really something you can play in between and play, for example, if you're, I don't know, waiting for a bus or on the subway or whatever. And it really is quite a nice game. It's very short while, and because of that I wanted to show you that. Okay, so first off we can have a look at, for example, the settings here. There is not much to see there because it's all about sound and music here. So if you don't want the sounds or the music, you can shut them down here. But it's really not a lot to see. It's a little bit important to note that here is more or less some kind of a hit area problem. I'm not sure about it really, but if you, for example, click in this area, everything is fine. If you try to click here, you will start with the game, as you can see. I'm not sure what that is about, but you really have to know about that to use this game in a right way. But it really doesn't matter much, because if you are clicking in the right bottom border there, everything is fine. Okay, so you have a leaderboard, of course, so you can have a look at your scores at this point too. And as you can see, the best one is currently from Poland, and it seems to be he has 116 gaps or hoops, loops, whatever he got through, and that is really a lot if you ask me. I'm not sure how many I did, but my best was 12 till now, so I will have to train a little to get to that point, I think. Okay, so let's play this game a little bit more seriously. So just to show you a little bit about how to play this. It's really quite simple. You will get very fast how this is played, and like that. It's really a nice little game you might want to try out. There is this diamond. You want to collect these diamonds, of course, because those will give you additional options to buy, for example, other balls and stuff like that, and like that you can use that. I'm not sure what more is about that. I think it's all about the optical appearance of your ball, for example. But let's see what's going on there. Okay, so let's play this. you can just go and click anywhere in the screen here. And after that, to control the ball, you have to hold the mouse button down and then move the mouse from left to right to bring your ball to different states here and play with it. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. And as you can see, we have to hit the, yeah, we got to 8, why not? We have to hit the gaps there and try to get through that, and at the moment I'm going to contact some of the loops I'm seeing here, everything will be gone. And it's a little bit harder than it seems to be, because the loops are really changing directions in between the moves and stuff like that. So be very, very careful about it and try to play it again. Let's do it again. It's really not easy, especially for me, because I'm sitting in the wrong direction now and have to play it like that. But it's somehow fun and you should really try it out. Yeah. And what you can see is that this one is one that is going to give you some advertisements in between. It's really not very important, because it gives you the option to get rid of them. So if you don't want to see them anymore, just close them down and you can play again. Yeah, and let's have a look at the balls here you can choose from. So I go to that, and as you can see, you need quite a lot of the diamonds to get other ball types here, but there are a lot of them available. So if you want to choose one of the other ones, you just have to play a lot, and after that you should be able to get all the other things here too. Yeah, and that's more or less all I can tell you about this kind of game, because it's really just an easy one and a small one. So this is more or less what we are talking about here. And I would say let's have a look at the second game. The second game is a fast-paced one too, and quite short while too. It's called Car versus Cops, and what you have to do here is you are driving away with the car from other cars, cop cars of course, so police cars, and they're trying to catch you, and what you have to do is you have to more or less, it's called doing rapid loops. I'm not sure what equivalent in English is, but it's more or less you have to turn around and turn around again to get rid of the cars, and you have to have a really good look that they are not hitting you in any kind of way, because if they are hitting you, you will lose one of your lives there. So let's have a look at that. I'm going to my start menu again and going to all apps, and let's see how that is written. It's called Car versus Cops. I will click on that. I will play it with the Foldable keyboard in this case, so it's arrow keys at the right bottom there you can use. And what you will need is the left and the right one, because everything else isn't necessary for the game. And with those you can just drive around and turn into one of the directions you want to play there. And as I said before, it's really a fast-paced game. There's not much to see here. You can of course mute the game, you can have a look at the leaderboards again, and you can click on play, and that's more or less all you can do here. And the cool thing is it's really quite fun. Okay, we can for example select another car here. So as you can see, I have a lot of coins already, and I can for example get this car or the black one or whatever. It's a good idea to get another car very early, because your car is blue and the police cars are blue too, and because of that you have to really look very precisely to see if you are really not hitting anything or something like that. And like that, I would recommend you to get another car very early in the game. It's quite easy to get a lot of these coins, so just try that, get them. And as you can see, I bought this one now, and should be good. I got the black one now. Probably I want to get another car too, because the black one is really of the same color as the background, but we will see what's happening here. I didn't buy something like that till now, but we will see. Okay, so this is more or less what we wanted here. Yeah, there are a lot of other things here too. Doesn't really matter. So let's play. There you see your car, and there you see all the bad guys trying to hit you. And you really have to move around because all of the police cars here are much faster than you are. So only by trying to do turns and trying to drive turns here, you really have a good possibility and chance to get rid of them. And as you can see, they are coming from all the different sides here. And there are different police cars, of course, too. So really make sure that they are not hitting you. And as you can see, they are going to hit you sometimes because they are just getting too many of them. But at the top you can see how many lives you still have, and as you see, I got hit by them, but still it's really a fun little game, and you really have to drive around and try to get rid of them. It's more or less a little bit like Snake or like Tron or something like that, as some of you may know the games, and it really is quite fun to play it. And let's do it again. As I said before, it's really a fast-paced game, and you of course should first encounter, and I got hit, perfect, and again, and again. Okay, that was fast, but as you can see, you can really drive around, try to avoid the other cars there, and do a lot of turns, because if you're not doing a lot of turns, you will be hit by the cars because they are driving faster than you. Nice little game there. Try it out. It really is a lot of fun somehow, and I'm not really sure why. It's really an easy, a really easy game, or a really not simple game, more or less. But it's somehow fun, and of course it's you can, for example, have a look at advertisement if you click on this button here, and with this button you can have a look at advertisement and get a few more coins if you want to do that. But as I said before, you are probably getting a lot of coins at the start already, so maybe you don't have to do that. But if you want, for example, another car which is looking a lot different or something like that, then of course you can do that. Yeah, so I think we can go out of this game too and have a look at the last game for this episode. And the last game is something for, it's a lot slower than the other games we played till now, and it's more or less a farming game, so you may already know some of them. It's a nice little theme there they got there, because it's about an island escape, so island, of course, it's really more or less some kind of a paradise island, and there you will have a look at farming and trying to harvest stuff, and you already know those kind of games, but I really like it because it's of a nice kind, because it's of a small little 3D game there, and it does its thing quite nicely. The only thing I really can't stand is the translation, because the translation into German, for example, in this case, is really one of the worst I have seen. But nevertheless, you can play it, you understand what's going on there, and like that, it's really fun, and probably if you are using it in your language, it's probably better translated, I'm not sure, but it's really nice. Yeah, and there we are. As you can see, we have some kind of a little helper here, which is going to help you a lot in between and giving you, for example, different tasks, of course. And you have just to follow him up here, so click on stuff he's pointing you at, and what he's going to tell you here, for example, is first you have to harvest that one. I already started this game after resetting it. I restarted it and didn't think about it, doesn't matter. In the end, you just have to follow him here, and it's really quite easy. So grow stuff. You can, for example, as always in these games, go with a timing approach, or you can, for example, increase the growing time here by just hitting on these buttons. And of course, you only have a few of those energy stuff available, so you can't do that all the time. as always, this is more or less a game where you have to come back over and over again and try to harvest stuff, build things, and of course, like I did here, harvest the things with a knife or whatever that is called. And then you can, for example, build this one. This is more or less for chickens, so I can put it here and click on that one and put, for example, chickens in. And there's this little indicator how many chickens you can put in. So if you want to play this, just throw them in. You have, for example, to feed them, of course. And after a short while you will, for example, receive an egg and stuff like that. It's really about doing some farm work here. And after that, collecting everything. And they are looking really, really fun, if you have a look at that. So this one has an egg in, this one is empty now, and you can see it. It's really a little bit of a really fun thing here to have a look at that. And you will level up a lot of times, for example. I'm already level 3 and I'm still in the tutorial, as you can see. So they're trying to motivate you a lot here. And there, for example, is more or less a building to get food out of it, for example, for this little chickens here. And after a while it will be created, and now we can, for example, use this to create food for the small little chickens here, because we want to create more eggs and stuff like that. And yeah, so let's get that. And of course we get experience points for that, and we level up and level up and level up again. It's really hard to not level up in this game. And after that, a nice little addition here. You can, for example, see what other people are doing in this game and have a look there, because there is a chat for that. But in general, we can, for example, at this point get new tasks we should do here. Yeah, and like that, we can, for example, do those jobs, get some kind of a revenue for that. For example, it can be this diamonds, it can be this coins with a fish on it. I'm not sure why there is a fish on it, but it doesn't matter. This is, of course, the experience you are gaining, and this is something I don't know at the moment what's going on there, but whatever, doesn't really matter. And yeah, now we have more or less the ability to walk around, have a look at different things, and try to see something here. And of course, if you want, for example, to chat with people, you can click on this icon. Have a look at other friends, for example, if you want to add them. And Facebook is another option here. I'm not much into Facebook because of that. We're not going to use that there. And of course, these little fellas need to eat something. And as you can see, we have to really get the little guys here so that they can run around and produce more eggs and stuff like that. So just try to get all the farming done here. You have a little bit of a starting tutorial, and after that you really have to have a look on your own. And there are, of course, different options here, like this. For example, you can win something by playing this wheel here. And in this case we got wheat. Okay. And after that we would have to pay for it with this diamonds. I'm not much into that. In general, I'm trying to avoid paying with this diamonds, because those are the ones you have to pay for in general. And because of that you want to be very, very easy on paying with these and giving them to other people in general. And after that we can just have a look at different options here. Have a look, for example, on this building to open the diary of yours, so you can have a look at what you did till now, which things you already got and which you need to do more. For example, we need to harvest more of the fields here. And to do that, of course, we have to put something on the fields first. So we can, for example, put corn on it, like I did here. Or, for example, we could put this wheat on it. which we just got. And as I told you before, you really have to hit the fields here to put the different seeds in here, so we can really have a look at that. And after that, just wait a little. It will take, for example, 5 minutes or something to get there. And now let's start building stuff. So we can go to this button here, and as you can see, we can, for example, put in a bakery like this one. So let's do that. And I will put it next to this part, or well, it's a bakery. Why not put it next to a street? I didn't really have a look at the stone which is there, so we have to put it here. It will take a little, and after that we can play that. And if you want, for example, to speed this one up, you have to put in one of the diamonds. I think I will do that. You have to click 2 times on it, and after that it's ready and we can do it. And now we can, for example, tell him to create things here, but we have something missing here, so we have to first earn or harvest our fields here. I don't think we can already harvest this one. This would be the wheat there, but I think it still needs 30 seconds, for example. So in this 30 seconds we can have a look at the different other things we can build, because as you can see, we have, for example, the ability to put in more of the chickens, which might be a good idea, so do that. Why not? 1, 2, 3. And now we have all the chickens in here. Let's see what we can do there. Additional to that, for example, we can put in more fields. 3 additional ones are possible now. And as you can see, we are close to being finished here, or maybe even we are already finished, I'm not sure. And only in the tutorial you are really restricted where you can put things, so now you can really put it where you want, and you can try to create your own little farm here like it should look and like you want to use it there. Okay, so have a look at this one. This is coming soon. I'm not going to use that now. And of course, there, for example, we are putting stuff in, so it's more or less just depot for us. And as you can see here, these are now ready. At least these two, I'm not sure about that one. Let's see if I can pull it, yeah. And we can, for example, now harvest this. And after that we should be able, I'm leveling up, okay, whatever. As you can see, we always get more things we can build, we can go on with it. And if you really like those kind of harvesting and collecting games, this is really a nice addition to that. And of course we can, for example, create a bread, or rolls in this case. Oh no, it's just another kind of bread, whatever. And after that we can just wait for it. And for example, use this bread for different things. For example, you can sell it, or you can use it, for example, to create other things here, because at this point we are already able to create more of the fields here. Just because we are leveling up, of course. So if you are leveling up more and more, you will be able to create more and more things there at this point. And I will just put in more of those here. Sometimes it's a little bit annoying to put things, but in the end it's okay to do that. And that's more or less because I'm sitting in the wrong direction here already. But after a while we should be able to use this. And now we can, for example, put out those beans. I think this is are beans, yeah, it's beans. And try to grow them too. And of course, if you are using, for example, these beans, you can put them in as seed and you can use them for different things. So always be aware that you have to grow things before you are using them, and that you, for example, keep your seeds, of course, because otherwise you can't really put in the seeds and you will have to buy them after that, and that's really not what you want to do there. Yeah, and then let's have a look what we can put in here. And maybe, why not? That should it be. And yeah, this is more or less what you can do in this game. There are many different things. For example, now you can collect this stuff, and of course you will very fast go to the 6th level and stuff like that. And of course have a look at your diary, have a look at the different options you got here. For example, at the test board you should have a look what you are going to have to do for that. And you can, for example, get things from that. If you, for example, are short of some of the ingredients here and you want to do something, then you of course can use these to go on and on and on. And of course increase your things here. As you can see, there are different things that are not available at the first start here, so you will have to level up for them. And after that, for example, you can go to fishing stuff at this point, and you can use these different things here to get more of the options available, and you just have to go to this kind of things here. Yeah. And this is more or less everything I can say about this game. So it's a typical collecting and harvesting game, but it really is fun to play, and I hope you will have fun with it if you're into this kind of game. If you're not into this kind of game, don't bother with it, because it really is all about this kind of stuff. And you really have nice little graphics, as you can see here. It's nicely done. It's 3D. It's a nice tree here, for example, different types of trees, of course. There are nice little plants. We have streets and stuff like that. It's really nicely done somehow. And you can, of course, do different things here, and we can, for example, earn our things because we got to a higher level and solve different mysteries here. And after that, you will really go up and get more and more things done here. Yeah, and then I would say we are more or less through the first episode after the 100. If you liked the episode, please give a thumbs up. If you, for example, want to comment something or ask something or whatever, please do it down below in the comment section, of course. And if you're not subscribed till now, please have a look at the subscription button there. And of course, don't forget to click on the bell button if you want to be notified if I'm uploading new episodes, for example. That will happen probably, yeah, each week more or less, and at the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, I'm not sure. It depends a little, but in general on the night or something between Saturday and Sunday, you will see a new episode there. And I hope you will have a lot of fun with it. I hope you like this episode. If so, you know what to do. And then I would say thanks for listening. See you in the next episode, or in one of the other episodes I already did. And have a nice day, have a nice week. See you soon. Bye.